right. However you're showing up today, that's going to be enough. Maybe you're driving. Maybe you're walking. Maybe you're lying back somewhere, trying to let your mind unclench for a minute. Or maybe, like me, you're lighting something up. But wherever you are, slow down a minute. Let's think about something together. Like, you ever notice how strange it is that a plant can feel familiar the very first fucking time you interact with it? Think about it. Like your body already knows what to do with it. No instructions, no learning curve, just recognition. Almost like something inside you was already waiting for it. And if that's true, what does that say about us? Because most things we put in our bodies, your body has to figure them out. You understand? Alcohol, caffeine, sugar, medicine, it reacts, adjusts, it processes. But cannabis? Cannabis doesn't feel like a stranger. Not harmless, not magical, just familiar. But we'll come back to that. I'll circle back. Because once you see it, you can't really unsee it. We'll come back to Third Eye High, where our thoughts will get a little hazy, but I promise you the perspective will get a whole lot clearer. This is the space where we slow things down. We sit inside the smoke and look at life just a little sideways. And before we go too far, I'm not here to tell you what to fucking think. These are just thoughts I've had sitting with this plant and letting my mind wander. You might agree. You might not. And that's okay. That's not really the point. The point is slowing down long enough to actually fucking think. And this isn't really a cannabis podcast. Cannabis is just the catalyst for this podcast. It's the thing that slows everything down long enough for curiosity to show up. Because the real fucking subject here is perspective. So let's start with something most people don't think about. Inside your body, right fucking now, there's a system running called the endocannabinoid system. It's in your brain, your nervous system, your immune system, your organs. And it helps regulate things like mood, sleep, pain, memory, appetite, stress, balance. It's basically one of your body's quiet control systems. The kind you don't even fucking notice. You don't notice it until you realize how much it touches. Now here's where it gets interesting, or at least I think it gets interesting. Those receptors are shaped to receive cannabinoids, not just plant cannabinoids, because your body makes its own. Let that land for a fucking second. Your brain processes them. Your body uses them, which means long before humans ever smoked cannabis, your body already understood this fucking chemistry. Explain that to me. That matters because it means cannabis isn't some foreign invader. It's not crashing the fucking party. It's interacting with the system that was already fucking there, already built, already running. When THC enters your system, it doesn't feel completely foreign. It fits. Like a key finding a lock, it recognizes. And that's the part that messed with me. Because yeah, that sounds fucking poetic. But it's also biological. And the first time I really fucking understood that, it changed the way I saw cannabis completely. Because like a lot of people, my relationship with it started simple. Social, relaxing. Something to take the fucking edge off. Something to slow things down. But after a while, I started noticing something else. When everything got quiet enough, when the noise backed off, when my brain stopped fucking running laps, my thoughts started going places they normally didn't go. Not answers, but questions. Questions about life, about people, about behavior, about patterns, about why we do what we do, even when we fucking know better. And cannabis didn't create those thoughts. That part matters. It didn't plant them there. It just created the space where they could finally fucking show up. And that's when something shifted for me. Maybe the interesting thing isn't the high. Maybe it's the opening. Maybe it's the moment your mind stops filtering everything so aggressively and starts letting things through. No judgment. If you've ever been high and suddenly noticed something small, like how time feels different when you're not rushing it, how one random thought branches into 5 fucking other thoughts, how our memory from 10 years ago just fucking shows up like it's been waiting its turn, then you know what I'm talking about. It's not chaos. It just feels like chaos if you're used to thinking in straight lines. What it really is curiosity. Your normal waking mind is built for efficiency, focus, routine, problem solving. Get through the fucking day, handle the damn task, move on. That mode is useful. It's necessary, but it's narrow. Weed loosens that structure just enough to let the other connections through. Not total chaos, not instant fucking wisdom, just flexibility. Things you normally ignore start getting noticed. Patterns appear, questions surface, connections link up. Your mind gets a little less rigid and a little more open. That's where a lot of interesting thinking lives. Not in certainty, but in fucking curiosity. Now, zoom out for a second, because this plant didn't just show up last week. Humans have been interacting with cannabis for thousands of years. Ancient China used it for medicine. India used it in spiritual practice. Scythian tribes used it in ritual smoke tents. Egyptians used it for pain relief. Early American farmers were even encouraged to fucking grow hemp. All different places, all different purposes, same fucking plant. And here's what's strange. Civilizations collapse. Languages disappear. Belief systems even fade. Empires rise and then disappear. But this fucking plant, it stays. It survives everything. It survives fear. It survives laws. It survives narratives. It keeps showing up in culture after culture. Like humanity just keeps fucking rediscovering it. Over and over and over again. Now you've got to ask, if this plant has been used for medicine, for ritual, for culture, for thousands of fucking years, why did it suddenly become the villain? That story gets complicated. You got politics, economics, control, narrative, fear, power. Because plants don't really change, but the stories about plants do. And once you see that, you start fucking realizing this was never just about health or safety or even science. It was always about who gets to control the fucking narrative, the story. We'll jump into that next time. So today we stayed close, inside the body, inside the wiring, inside that strange idea that maybe cannabis feels familiar, because on some level it is. Because before culture, before laws, before opinions, Your body already knew this fucking language. And maybe that's the real story. Not that this plant gets you high, but that it reveals something about you, about your mind, about your body, about how much of yourself you haven't fully explored yet. So next episode, we zoom out because this plant didn't just touch biology. It fucking touched history, religion, trade, power, entire civilizations. And somewhere along the way, the story fucking changed. But for now, however you showed up today, thanks for sitting in a smoke session with me. Cannabis might be the spark, but curiosity is the real fucking high. Stay curious, stay lifted, stay third eye high.